A hearty good evening to you, Sioux Falls, and a hearty good evening to everyone here in the audience tonight. I'd like to welcome you all to the City of Sioux Falls City Council meeting. Today is Monday, November 15th, 2010. Can I have a roll call vote, please? Let's find out who's here tonight, shall we?
Council members Brown?
Here.
Intiman?
Here.
Erpenbach?
Here.
Jameson?
Here.
Litz?
Here.
Rolfing? Aguilar?
Here.
Anderson?
Here.
We do have 7 members present, so we can actually move forward with business tonight. Thank you. I'd like to welcome Pastor Don Johnson. He is the pastor of the Seventh-day Adventist Church here in town. So pleased to have you here, Pastor. What we'd like you to do, please, is give us an invocation. We'd like everyone to stand, and then after Pastor Johnson is done, we'd like to follow with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor Johnson.
Good evening. You bow your heads with me, please. Our loving Father, we thank you for the privilege of getting to come to this City Council meeting tonight. We ask that you be with our leaders in a very special way. Give them that godly knowledge and godly wisdom to apply that knowledge in a way that they can help lead this city, and in a way that will help us all to be drawn closer to you, closer to each other. We thank you for everything that you've done here. We thank you for this great city of Sioux Falls and all the privileges we have living here. Just be with the leaders now and the people of Sioux Falls as they conduct city business. I ask these things in Jesus' name, and I thank you for hearing me. Amen. Amen.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, everyone. Is Lori Murray here? Or is there anyone else you'd like to bring up? Okay, great. Well, I do have a couple of proclamations I'd like to read tonight on behalf of the people of Sioux Falls. And the first one, Lori, again, welcome. It's good to have you here. Whereas, declaring the month of November Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month in the city of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Whereas, in 2010, an estimated 43,140 people will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in the United States, and 36,800 will die from the disease. Whereas pancreatic cancer is one of the deadliest cancers and is the 4th leading cause of cancer death in the United States. Whereas when symptoms of pancreatic cancer present themselves, it is usually too late for an optimistic prognosis. And 75% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first year of their diagnosis, while 94% of the pancreatic cancer patients die within the first 5 years. Whereas, approximately 100 deaths will occur in South Dakota. Whereas there is no cure for pancreatic cancer, and there have been no significant improvements in survival rates in the last 40 years. Whereas the federal government invests significantly less money in pancreatic cancer research than it does in any of the other leading cancer killers. And pancreatic cancer research constitutes only 2% of the National Cancer Institute's federal research funding, a figure far too low given the severity of the disease, its mortality rate, and how little is known about how to arrest it. Whereas the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network is the first and only national patient advocacy organization that serves the pancreatic cancer community in South Dakota and nationwide by focusing its efforts on public policy, research funding, patient services, and public awareness and education related to developing effective treatments and a cure for pancreatic cancer. Whereas the good health and well-being of the residents of Sioux Falls, South Dakota are enhanced as a direct result of increased awareness about pancreatic cancer and research into early detection, causes, and effective treatments. Now, therefore, I, Mike Huther, Mayor of the City of Sioux Falls, do hereby proclaim November 2010 as Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month in Sioux Falls. Lori, thank you. Linda Watts, please. And Linda, is there anybody else you'd like to bring up? Great. Come on up.
Volunteers in our store.
Very good. Whereas 10,000 Village is located at 218 South Phillips Avenue, is the only nonprofit store of its kind in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, that sells fair trade products representing 38 developing countries. Whereas the selling of these handicrafts contributes to the health and well-being of people around the world, increasing their housing and educational opportunities and betterment of their communities. Whereas artisans in our fair trade network are treated with dignity and respect, leading to 10,000 Villages earning the designation as one of the world's most ethical companies by Forbes magazine and the Ethisphere Institute. Whereas 10,000 Villages Sioux Falls has helped raise funds for other local nonprofits by dedicating portions of its sales on community shopping days and nights. Whereas for the past 20 years, 10,000 Villages Sioux Falls has taken a leadership role of bringing fair trade to the community by participating in and hosting events including the World Fair Trade Month, Earth Day, and International Women's Day, among others. Whereas there are events throughout the year the Sioux Falls community can attend to learn about the importance of fair trade and how it positively benefits artisans around the world. Whereas throughout the year, there will be countries and artisans featured at the store, and staff and volunteers will speak at regional schools, churches, civic organizations, and conferences to spread information about the importance of fair trade. Now, therefore, I, Mike Huther, Mayor of the City of Sioux Falls, do hereby proclaim November 15th, 2010 as the kickoff for the 20th year of fair trade in Sioux Falls. Thank you, Linda.
The Catholic district, the cathedral.
Guess I'm doing this one too, and this one is just as exciting as the others, if not more. I don't know if you folks are all aware, but Sioux Falls was awarded with something incredibly special, and I'll just try to give you a flavor of it. The American Planning Association announced the designation of the Cathedral Historic District right here in Sioux Falls, right here in our home, as one of the 10 great neighborhoods for 2010. This group, American Planning Association, they singled out the neighborhood, among other things, for its distinctive and ornate Victorian homes. We all know that. Efforts by residents in the city to preserve and protect this neighborhood's historic character. We all know that. And, of course, the panoramic views the district offers the downtown and the Big Sioux River Valley. This is the first Great Places in American designation in South Dakota. First time. There's a quote I wanted to read to you. We're very excited to name the Cathedral Historic District as one of this year's great neighborhoods, said APA Chief Executive Officer Paul Farmer. The neighborhood is a real gem with more than 200 Victorian and early 20th century homes, and the city's skyline defining St. Joseph Cathedral. City leaders, right here some of them are, and some of you, of course, and residents are to be commended for what they've done to protect this neighborhood's historic character, he added. I am so pleased to let all of you in Sioux Falls know that this wonderful Cathedral Historic District has been named one of the top 10 great neighborhoods in America. And folks, we've got the plaque to prove it. Congratulations, Sioux Falls. Councilor Anderson Jr., do you have anything special you want to say tonight?
Guess I'll have to do it from my own mic. Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say Sioux Falls has always been known as a great sporting community. We have many parks that allow our youth and adults to have many different options for sports as entertainment or actually athletic events. What I'd like to do right now is ask some people here that are wearing lime green shirts to please step up front. Guess what I'd like to say here is a lot of times we don't realize that a lot of these activities, whether they be tournaments or just even leagues here within our city, that it takes a good group of people to be able to put these together and bring these type of events into Sioux Falls, and also putting together our leagues so that our youth and adults have the opportunity to participate in whatever sporting activity they would like to be in. This group here is called Sioux Falls People for Youth. They've taken it another step. Over the last decade, they've been responsible for bringing many national and regional tournaments here to Sioux Falls, introducing our city to thousands of new people and generating millions of dollars of revenue for our city. And once again, they've also been good friends of mine and a great mentor to myself also in my process. This a couple weekends ago, we went to Shreveport, Louisiana, and once again, they've done it again. As reported last week, we have the 2012 Girls National 14 and Under Fast Pitch Tournament, and with their help, I was able to obtain the Men's National E-Recreational Slow Pitch Tournament in the same summer. So similar to 2009, when we saw a great impact from the efforts of this group, we're going to see the same thing again in 12. So when you see these people out on the street, or if they come to your business and ask for a sponsorship or something, I ask that you please help them, because now it's a team effort. It's Sioux Falls People for Youth and the City of Sioux Falls. We are now going to be hosting these tournaments, and we need to make sure that the people who come here have the best experience that they've ever had. And I'd ask that you all give them a hand, please.
Councilor Anderson Jr., great job, as always. Thank you. Moving on with tonight's City Council meeting, could I get a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
So moved, Litz.
Second, Entenmann.
It's been a motion by Councilor Litz and seconded by Councilor Entenmann to approve tonight's consent agenda. Any conversation or any comments? Hearing none, if I could have a roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Entenmann.
Yes.
Erpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Litz.
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 7-0. Thank you. Item number 3. Thank you, City Council. Could I have a motion to approve tonight's regular agenda as well?
Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion to approve the regular agenda.
Second, Anderson.
Thank you. There's been a motion by Councilor Litz, seconded by Councilor Anderson Jr. to approve tonight's regular agenda. Is there any discussion or any amendments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend the order of the regular agenda by moving item 15 before item 12.
Very good. Is there a second?
Second, Anderson.
It's been a motion by Councilor Litz to amend tonight's regular agenda by moving item number 15 before item 12. It was seconded by Councilor Brown. Is there any discussion? Can I have a motion to approve the amendment, please? Can I have a vote to approve the amendment, please?
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you, City Council. That amendment is passed 7-0. Any other discussion on the amended motion?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make another motion to amend the regular agenda by adding 2 resolutions for consideration as items 19 and 20 with their titles as read by the Assistant City Clerk.
Can I have a second on that, please?
I would second that. Erpenbach?
There's been a motion by Councilor Litz to amend tonight's regular agenda. It has been seconded by Councilor Erpenbach. Is there any further discussion? Or would you like to read those, please? Thank you.
19, a resolution waiving the city's allocation of recovery zone facility bonds. 20, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement along with a private developer agreement and option agreement between the City of Sioux Falls and Lumber Exchange, LLC, and a trustee agreeable to the parties.
Is there any further discussion, City Council, on this? And I think this is the case because these are new items that were brought in tonight. We actually have to have more votes than just a regular majority. We have to have at least 6 voting yes tonight in order for this to pass. So I just wanted the people of Sioux Falls to understand that because you didn't have an earlier opportunity to know that this was on the agenda. So that's why there's a higher level of criteria for all of you to protect you. Okay? So if there's no further discussion, if I could have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you, City Council. That is passed 7-0. We now have an amended motion to approve tonight's regular agenda. Is there any other discussion on this item? Could we have a vote on the amended main motion?
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you, City Council. That is passed 7-0. I do appreciate that. Folks, we do want to allow you an opportunity to speak to your City Council as well. We are interested in your thoughts and in your opinions. I do need to make you aware, though, that this is not a question and answer session in terms of interacting with these great men and women of the City Council. If you do have questions that you have of the City Council or of the mayor, feel free to do that through going to our website, www.siouxfalls.org. There you'll find the phone numbers, the email addresses, as well as you can interface directly with them right on that website. However, we would like you to come up at this time. If you've got anything you'd like to discuss, we would ask you just please state your name clearly, and if you could limit it to 5 minutes, we would appreciate it. Welcome.
I have a copy of my remarks for the city clerk.
Wonderful, thank you.
Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council, thank you for this opportunity to raise my issue to the city government.
And sir, if
My
you could
name
just
is Harold
thank you.
Christensen. I live in 2700 Southwest Avenue. I'm here to specifically ask City Council to help reconcile the disparate understanding of traffic laws regarding motor vehicles and bicycles. There is misunderstanding between Sioux Falls Police, State's Attorney, motor vehicle operators, and the League of American Bicyclists and their bicycle safety instruction. I am asking that you, the City Council, help me to know how to get these parties together and come to an understanding. As that understanding is reached, there is an education process that needs to happen. Remember, it was a year ago in October that Sioux Falls was recognized as a bicycle-friendly community, 31st in the nation. We are very proud of that designation, even though Sioux Falls was recognized at the bronze level. That's level number 4 of 4. Let me put these 2 points in front of you, maybe as a vision. In the Netherlands, 27% of all trips are made by bicycle. Imagine the improved quality of life if 27% of the cars out there driving the streets were not there. Portland, Oregon, bicycle share has increased 400% for less than the cost of 1 mile of freeway. Bicyclists are a cheap crowd. The reason I come tonight is deeper and wider than simply being friendly. It is more than quality of life, it's safety, and safety is the main reason people give for not riding a bicycle. Here is my story. It was September 27, 2010, at 15:59, that's 4 p.m., I left work to bicycle downtown. As I approached the red light eastbound at 22nd and Minnesota, a driver passed me within 5 inches. I thought, that's an emergency. This driver is a threat to me riding safely and every other bicyclist, many of whom ride recklessly. I called 911 saying the driver turned south at 22nd and Dakota, and I gave a detailed description. An officer was dispatched, and I made my report within minutes. In the end, after the officer pursued my sense of injustice as far as he could, he said the state's attorney would not proceed with reckless driving charges. At most, they could use improper lane use, but that was not possible because an officer must witness the incident. My case was closed when I accepted the officer giving the motorist a stern talking to. As for me, I was given this conflicting advice. You can use the whole lane. You should ride as far right as possible. Actually, the law clearly says any person operating a bicycle shall ride as close as practicable to the right-hand curb. Lots of safety issues hinge on mistranslating practicable to possible. My outrage has not subsided. Having been through this experience and running it to ground, here is what I believe. Bicyclists must be hit before a reckless driving motorist will be recognized. Many, many motorists don't know what rights bicyclists have. Bicyclists don't know the second most common bike safety advice after wearing a helmet is follow the law. I doubt any motorist bicyclist citations are ever issued when a bicyclist is not hit. I have been doored. The Minneapolis police report 30 years ago said cause of the accident was inexperience. Mine. That experience and lots more experience since then and my bicycle safety training say I am safest when I control the lane. My appeal to you tonight is to let us find a way that all the stakeholders come to agree on what bicycle law is and then spread that understanding. Appreciate the chance to address you.
Thank you, Mr. Christensen. Thank you. If you could just state your name, please.
Mary Glensky at 632 West 9th Street in the Cathedral Historic District. On behalf of the people of the district, we'd like to say thank you for the recognition at this meeting. We certainly were thrilled and delighted with the national recognition of our neighborhood. Quite frankly, we've always considered the Cathedral Historic District to be one of the great neighborhoods.
Good evening. My name is Cheryl Rath. Recently, Sioux Falls received a very prestigious award, the CAPRA. There are approximately 10,000 park systems in cities across our country. The Sioux Falls Park System is one of only 90 to receive this award, placing our wonderful parks in the top 1% in the nation. Thank you to generations of Sioux Falls taxpayers for this investment in our city. The crown jewel of this system is Falls Park, attracting visitors each year from all 50 states and many foreign countries. It has become one of South Dakota's leading tourist attractions. It has not always been this way. As we all know, the park has undergone extensive rehabilitation. Millions of tax dollars have been spent. Phillips to the Falls, the Visitors Center and Observation Tower, the Overlook Cafe, the Farmers Market Shelter, the Queen Bee Mill, the Horse Barn, the Light and Sound Show, Winter Wonderland. Millions of tax dollars spent to secure the future of our city's namesake. Now comes the Railroad Relocation Plan. I believe that few citizens understand that the railroad relocation includes a second railroad trestle over the falls. As I have interacted with others about the railroad relocation, the most common reaction that I have received is people think that the relocation plan includes removing the existing trestle over the falls, when in fact what the plan lays out is a second trestle, a railroad trestle that will be placed to the north of the current railroad bridge, once again forever altering our view of the falls. Many citizens also believe that relocation of the railroad will completely eliminate the railroad crossings in downtown Sioux Falls, when in fact it will only reduce the number of tracks, not completely eliminate them. I believe that the major reason for the desire to relocate the railroad switching yard was found in Mayor Munson's response to a viewer question on Ask the Mayor. His response was, the railroad relocation will free up 46 acres of downtown land for commercial and residential development. Years ago, when Tom Daschle was Senate Majority Leader, he had secured over $42 million federal dollars for this project. In 2008, Shannon Austin, city engineer, gave a formal presentation to the Park Board on railroad relocation. As I reviewed my notes from this meeting, I found this quote from Ms. Austin. We have less than $30 million left in this fund, and we need to spend it as fast as we can before it dwindles any further. This was 2 years ago. Mayor Huther, in the spirit of transparency, I believe the public deserves to know how many federal dollars are still available for this project. In conclusion, what is the true cost of the railroad relocation? A second trestle over the falls, a trestle located to the north of the current one, forever altering our view of our city's namesake. Only a reduction in the number of tracks downtown, not an elimination of all tracks, and a reduction in federal funding that will require millions of local tax dollars to cover the shortfall. What is the true cost? Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak to the City Council? Welcome.
Hello, my name's Dave Nielsen. I'm president of Sioux Falls People for Youth. And Councilman Anderson just recognized our group for obtaining another softball tournament. But I guess what I would like to do briefly is just thank all of you, because the enhancements that you've made to the city parks in the last few years really makes our job when we go to get these tournaments much easier. I also want to thank the park department themselves, because the park department can get the fields ready and does a tremendous job. We do a pretty good job, we think, of running these tournaments. We've been able to get them, a few of them. I think we figured out now we've had about 5 or 6 of these major girls tournaments. But it's the city, park department, you here, and the Convention and Visitors Bureau that really helps us get these tournaments. We've been planning with the CVB for the last 2 years to get this tournament, and now we'll change gears and start planning opening ceremonies and some of the other things necessary to get these people all the motel rooms necessary. This tournament is a 14-year-old tournament. We've had a number of 16-year-old tournaments, but the thing that will be different about this tournament is we expect to see a lot more families in Sioux Falls. This is how they spend their summer vacation. And with that in mind, we really, again, thank everyone here. They utilize the bike paths. They love the falls. And we've heard that from the people that have visited us in the past. And to you, we want to just say thank you for the support that you've given us as we go to get those tournaments. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak to the City Council? Well, I thank you all. What a tremendous night for public commentary. Thank you so much. We'll move on with the agenda tonight, and we'll start with item number 9.
Special one-day liquor license for Washington Pavilion Management, Inc., Washington Pavilion of Arts and Science, 301 South Main Avenue, on December 3rd, 10, 11, and 18, 2010, and January 1 of 2011 for various celebrations. 10, special one-day wine license and special one-day off-sale package wine license for Rummel Memorial Home, Inc., to be operated at Dow Rummel Village, 1321 West Dow Rummel Street, on December 4th, 2010, for a Habitat for Humanity fundraiser. 11, various retail liquor, packaged liquor, and retail wine license renewals for 2011 to be operated at various locations in the city of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, identified as Exhibit A.
Welcome, Lori.
Thank you. Lori Hogstead with the City Attorney's Office, here for items 9, 10, and 11. Item 11 is our first set of renewals for this year. We will have 3 sets total, and these will renew the licenses for 2011 for various retail liquor, packaged liquor, and retail wine. Our first group entails about 70 businesses, and the only one that I have a stipulation request on would be a retail liquor renewal for MKSF Inc. for Craven, and this will be at 74th and Connie. They, as yet, have not specified their address. And this one will be pending final inspection per Fire, Health, and Building Services. And I can certainly answer questions on 9, 10, or any of the renewals on the list for item 11.
Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to these items tonight? City Council, any comments or any motions?
Mr. Mayor, I need to close.
Thank you, Councilor Antman. Yes, Councilor Bach.
Just one other question, Lori, about there was another one that had pending for health inspection. Has that been taken care of?
Oh, the Lewis on Louise? Yes, they opened today.
Oh,
so
well,
that one is fine, yes.
Okay. All right,
Thank
good.
you for asking on that.
I would move approval, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Bach.
Second, Aguilar.
There's been a motion by Councilor Urbanbach, seconded by Councilor Aguilar to approve items 9, 10, and 11. No further discussion. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 6-0. Item number 12.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota,
Point of order.
amending the revised ordinances.
Point of order, we changed the agenda.
Yeah, I thought we moved 15 above 12.
Item 15 comes before 12.
Councilor Block, thank you.
15, public hearing for item 12, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the revised ordinances of the city by adding Article 7 to Chapter 39, establishing the Sioux Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau Business Improvement District.
Councilor, are you speaking to this item, Councilor?
Deborah, is this at the point or is it on number 12? I have to propose it.
This is just the hearing, so there would be no action on this one, just to see if anybody had any comments to speak to the ordinance.
Okay. If I might.
Councilor Enterman, please.
This is concerning the bid, the proposal for the funding of the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And we've worked very hard with Doug Hayek, myself, and several other people in the community. We've worked very hard to get this thing on and move it forward. There has been a number of concerns that have been addressed by people. One of those, of course, is the long-term book of the convention center is a prime example, because what this does, the $150,000 that the CVB receives from the entertainment tax to support the long-term book goes away. That's going to be eventually turned back to the city in unencumbered funds. It is the CVB, however, it is their mission to always look to the future for the city of Sioux Falls and the functions that we have, that we can book, and the long-term book is one of those missions that they will continue to do and they're committed to do. So I'm sure that this particular point will not be an issue. I am excited. We had about 74 to 75% of the hotels that signed on board to this, and we're very excited to move this issue forward.
Councilor Enterman, thank you very much. This is an opportunity for anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to your city council about this particular item. If you'd like to speak, please come on up. We'd love to hear from you. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Craig Pomeranke. I'm the chairman of the CVB this year, 2010-2011. So thank you for having us. You know, one thing we want to do is obviously thank you for considering this and supporting this bid. It's been, as Councilman Enterman was saying, it's been a long process, and what we think is a very good partnership. You know, getting close to 75% of the hotel room inventory to support it in the ownership, I think it speaks pretty good in today's world. We also want to thank the CVB Advisory Board. Many of them are in attendance here tonight to help support this. They've been on board with it since day one. We've educated them. We've spent some time with them. We've enlisted some of them to help us, and we appreciate them being here too, so thank you. You know, part of the efforts on doing this is obviously to take care of funding the CVB long-term. Currently, the CVB receives over $500,000 in general funds. We're wanting to turn that back to the city and allow the city to use those funds for however they want to use it for. And in place, we would fund it through this bid district, this $2 per night, per room, rather, fund that would take care of this. You know, the mission of the CVB is to market the city of Sioux Falls, South Dakota as a one-of-a-kind visitor destination and to provide premier visitor services by attracting conventions, meetings, sports, events, leisure, and business travelers to Sioux Falls in the most economic and efficient manner possible in order to positively impact the local economy. You know, I think a good example of that is the people of youth that were here tonight and what they were able to accomplish with Councilman Anderson Jr. and the rest of the staff. You know, that's just a testament of what the CVB does and what they're a part of. They don't do it all. They have to have help like this. So I appreciate that. You know, another thing is we do monthly meetings where we have lunches. We interact with each other, the hotels, the restaurants, the attractions, and so forth. And at that point, there's a financial report every month. There's lots of transparency on what's going on, lots of communication, lots of partnerships are developed. So I would encourage you, again, to support this because those partnerships are pretty valuable, and they do result in a lot of great economic impact to Sioux Falls. Ultimately, there is what we call a bid board that would be looking at the final budget and approving the final budget along with the City Council as the ultimate final approval of this budget for these funds. Take any questions if anybody has any.
Thank you, Mr. Pomeranke.
Okay, thank you.
Any other one who would like to speak to the City Council, please? Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, Council members. My name is Tom Bosch. I'm here representing the Holiday Inn City Center and our management company, Lester Hospitality. I just wanted to make a couple brief comments to you all, asking for your support by adopting this ordinance for in going ahead and creating the Convention and Visitors Bureau bid district. The visitor industry is extremely competitive, and I'm sure that, and Craig mentioned the People for Youth and Councilmember Anderson, and I'm sure they can speak in the CVB. There's many cities that were there that would love to have those two tournaments. And it's extremely competitive, and in our world, sometimes that involves dollars, and going out and investing in the Convention and Visitors Bureau and giving them an opportunity to go out and to market and to promote our city, to bring the visitors in, is extremely important. I've been blessed to work in this industry for quite a while. I concur with the comments that Mr. Nielsen made about the Parks and Rec. We have wonderful facilities here in Sioux Falls. But sometimes it takes those dollars, and it's not just having those, but going out and marketing to them, promoting, asking them to come to your city. And through this ordinance, that would allow those dollars to be spent and for our industry to utilize those to increase the visitor industry and bring more people into our city. Thank you.
Mr. Bosch, thank you very much. Welcome.
For short people, we have to bring these down, Mayor. Okay. Good evening, everyone, Mayor, City Council. My name is Terry Ellis Schmidt with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. First of all, we do appreciate you allowing us to come forth with this bid and work with all of you, especially Councilor Entenmann, to bring this forward. We believe that it is really the right thing to do for Sioux Falls to move us into the future. We're ready to become more competitive. The facilities, the hotels, on down to the attractions, the retailers, everybody's ready to go to the next level, and we need the tools to be able to do that. The partnerships are in place, the support in the community is in place, and we feel with your leadership and your support of the bid district that we will be able to take Sioux Falls to the next level in economic development. We're anxious to work harder and to really get out there and compete. You've heard about the Sioux Falls People for Youth. We've got soccer folks here, conventions. We've got one coming up where we are, if we could just pay for that transportation, we'd probably get that national convention here. This would allow us to compete at that level. We want to go after new business for Sioux Falls. We want to continue working hard with the hotels and the facilities and raise our city up, raise that bar. This is all about economic development. This is all about taking Sioux Falls into the future, and we're ready to go. So we ask for your support, and we appreciate all that you've done for us so far. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to the City Council about this topic? Seeing none, City Council, any comments on this, or we'll move to item 12?
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the revised ordinances of the city by adding Article 12 to Chapter 39, establishing the Sioux Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau Business Improvement District.
Jim?
Okay, I move we approve.
Second,
Now I get to make my motion to amend.
There has been a motion to approve this by Councilor Entenmann. It was seconded by Councilor Litz. Further discussion, Councilor Entenmann.
I'd like to propose a motion to amend, and that is to retract the hotel telephone numbers from the ordinance that were listed. We consulted with the city attorney, and this is what we need to do.
There has been a motion. It has been seconded by Councilor Litz to amend this by redacting the phone numbers that are listed in the document. Is there any further discussion, City Council?
Mayor, I'd like
Yes, Councilor Anderson, Jr.
I think this is a a great ideal to be able to fund the CVB in a different way and allow them to become more competitive with more communities within our region. One of the things that I did when I was in Shreveport was I spoke to a few other CVB people from other cities, including Rapid City. One of the statements that really stuck with me was that they didn't believe Sioux Falls was a competitor until they actually saw that we were looking at refunding our CVB. So that's something I think is very important. The CVB does a great job supporting groups or individuals with their ideals, or also going out and getting those events that we want here in Sioux Falls. So I will be supporting this.
Thank you. We do have an amendment on the floor. Any other discussion on the amendment to redact the phone numbers? Hearing none, if I could have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you. That has passed 7-0 to amend the main motion. Are there any other further comments? Yes, Councilor Brown.
Just a quick question for Councilor Entenmann, if I may.
Oh, please.
Tell me again the expected revenue from this annually, please.
The first year, we're anticipating roughly, because we're not going to have a full year's collection here, they run about 30 days behind, or excuse me, about 90 days, about a quarter behind. We're expecting $1 to $1.2 million the first year, and we anticipate the second year, if things go well, we could raise anywhere from $1.5 to $1.7 million, thereabouts. Those are estimates.
Thank you, and thank you for your work on this, Councilor Entenmann.
Councilor Erpenbach.
I just wanted to echo what Councilor Brown just said. You know, this is one of those topics that came up in that very first meeting of the new council. After we were elected and before we were sworn in, we got together to talk about those ideas that were top priorities for us. One of them was the railroad relocation program. Another one was this bid district, and Councilor Entenmann has been a leader in this. He's helped us understand it, and he's helped the CVB work through it. I know that you all have worked together in partnership. It's just been a really neat thing to watch, and I'm just really proud to be part of a council that would be led in that way. Thanks, Jim.
Hearing no further discussion, we do have an amended main motion. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Adamantly, yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you. That has passed 7-0. Item 13.
Second reading an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the revised ordinances of the city by amending Section 15.5-7 fees for tickets as found in Chapter 15 fees.
Good evening, Mike Cooper, Planning and Building Services. This is an ordinance that we brought forward for first reading, and after consultation with finance attorneys and our internal auditors, we determined that we believe that this is no longer necessary for council action, and we would like to request a withdrawal of this item.
Very good. Can I have a motion to withdraw this item?
So moved, Erpenbach.
Second,
There's been a
Aguilar.
motion by Councilor Erpenbach, seconded by Councilor Aguilar to withdraw this motion tonight. Any further discussion? A roll call vote. I'm sorry, Councilor
I want
Brown.
to make a comment. I want to thank
Please.
our City Clerk, Deborah Owen, for noticing that this was not necessary. It was not legal advice, but it was good advice, and I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Deborah Owen.
Councilor Brown, thank you very much. Could we have a vote on this, please?
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you. That has passed 7-0 as well. Item number 14.
First reading an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 412 East 12th Street from the C3 Central Business District to the sub-area of the Beetle Greenway Plan Development District, petition number 2010-09-02, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes, this is a petition by Ronning Companies. This is an existing 88-unit apartment building that's located in the downtown area on South 3rd Avenue and East 12th Street. It's called River Terrace West Apartments. The petitioner is requesting this to be incorporated into the Beetle Greenway Plan Development District, which includes the majority of their rental units to the south and east of this particular property. The Beetle Greenway is within the downtown district boundaries, as is this particular action item tonight. And the idea would be to make all the properties consistent with this plan development zoning district. The Planning Commission had recommended approval of this, and I know there was recently some discussion about this item as it pertains to some ongoing issues with the downtown business improvement district. Late today, we've had a discussion with the attorneys, with the property owner, and what we would like to advise the council or recommend to the council would be to go ahead and set the date of hearing on this item, and we will continue to have discussions with the applicant and the attorney's office about what the proper action would be prior to the second reading.
Very good. Folks, this is a first reading, so we don't have public comment on the first reading, but there will be time for public comment at the second reading. And speaking of that, to City Council, would somebody like to set a hearing date and for that second reading on Monday, December 6th, 2010?
So moved, Aguilar.
Second, Litz.
It's been a motion by Councilor Aguilar, seconded by Councilor Litz, to set the hearing date on this particular topic for that second reading on Monday, December 6th, 2010. Any further discussion or questions or comments? Hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 16.
A resolution amending the 2010-2014 capital program to add a light scope for the police crime lab.
Welcome.
Greg Vannekamp, Sioux Falls Police Department. Perhaps if we would have entitled this agenda item CSI Sioux Falls, we would have held more attention to more people here, but what this is to do is to add back into the capital program, it's called a crime scope, an alternate light source. We had originally had this in the capital program. We took it out a year or two ago as we had access to one that we were able to borrow with a partnership. That has since gone by the wayside. The current crime scope that we possess is a 1991 model. I guess I would just say, look at a flashlight back in 1991 with the headlights of your car, compare that to today, and see the difference. So what this does is it allows us to process crime scene and evidence found at those crime scenes in a much more effective manner. 500 watts as compared to a 75-watt old crime scope. So again, this is using money that we saved. I believe we saved a lot of this on our, money we saved on other purchases this year. So, questions? Yes, sir.
What's the cost of the scope?
We estimate it to be less than $25,000.
Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to this item? City Council, any further discussion on this item? Would somebody like to make a motion to?
I would move approval, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Erpenbach.
Second, Anderson.
It's been seconded also by Councilor Anderson, Jr. Hearing no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 17.
A resolution authorizing use of construction manager at risk services for the construction of the event center.
Welcome, Mr. Crowder.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I have 3 slides to just recap construction manager at risk. That's as close as Public Works gets to CSI. So, first, design, bid, build. That's a project delivery method that we use repeatedly, day after day. One of the projects that we've talked about in 3 different conversations today is River Boulevard. That's a classic example of design, bid, build, where the city has a very good understanding of what we want, and also that the consulting team can lay out a good design. Then we go to a public bid where 6 to 10 contractors will bid on that and then carry out the build of that. So that's a classic design, bid, build, very standard approach. I'll jump to the design build first before we talk about construction manager at risk. And I realize that we did just talk about this at the zoo, but I think just in the interest that it's a fairly new method for the city of Sioux Falls, and Councilor had asked for some additional background. Design build is something where you need to have a very specific project criteria identified. And if you are A classic example may be if you know exactly where the size of an office building that you're going to build, you have a good sense of the exterior envelope of how much brick you'd like, how much glass you'd like, what the sidewalls might be, right down to a budget level for the interior finishes. Once you have that specific project criteria and ultimately a budget, you can use design build. One of the prime examples, or one of the prime advantages of using design build is as an owner, you only have to deal with one person. You don't have a separate agreement with an architect and a separate agreement with a contractor. But again, you have to have a very precise program design statement of what you want at the end of the day. It's also a little bit more difficult to manage in the public bid laws that we have with the, it's probably more prevalent on the private side as opposed to the public side, but it is used. Construction manager at risk is really what we think when we want to take a team approach, have the architect hired, and then have the contractor work side by side, and then we start to work through the concepts and the community meetings, what is going to go into this facility, to then ultimately ask the construction manager at risk what this price of this facility is going to be. It's by far the most used delivery methods for event centers, but also it's been widely used in recent years by the state engineer on a number of projects, and would bet in similar scope that in many of their buildings they don't have the listed out program design statements, so that's why they've started to use this process more and more. Next slide. Just a couple of other just benefits. General contractor is selected on aspects other than low bid. One of the key things you'll get with a construction manager at risk is all the pre-construction advice, cost estimating, and just team effort working with the architect. You get the contractor input during the design and not during the bid stage. Work through the competitive bid packages. That's the nice thing. They do get a prescribed percentage and also general conditions, but each package from the site work to the foundations, all those can be broke out and bid in a public manner and will under this process. Again, we've talked about that we'll ask for a guaranteed maximum price so we can run the funding strategies for the event center, as well as when we take it to a public vote, we'll have a good number of what this facility will cost, and it is governed by state law. Last project is, again, a list of recent and local projects that have used this process. The most recent one is the last one that's listed. The University Center recently selected this method for their new classroom building, and that's currently under construction, as well as the City of Sioux Falls. This is our second project this year, which once we get started with the zoo project, that will be added to that list. So again, that's a recap. It's my recommendation that we use this delivery method for the event center, and would like your support on the resolution.
Thanks, Mark. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? City Council?
Move we approve the resolution.
Councilor Brown?
Quick question for Mark Cutter. Is gross maximum price the same as guaranteed maximum price? Are those two different terms?
No, it's they're synonymous.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. Councilor Huntsman?
I'm sorry, I move that we approve the resolution.
Very good.
Second, Anderson.
There's been a motion by Councilor Huntsman, seconded by Councilor Anderson, Jr. to approve item 17 and the resolution therein. Any other discussion? Thank you very much, City Council. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmembers Brown?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 18.
A resolution appointing members of the Audit Committee.
Mayor and City Council, in 2005, the Department of Legislative Audit made recommendations to the Sioux Falls City Council concerning establishing an audit committee, and in that report, they recommended that a majority of the audit committee be comprised of City Council members. Tonight before you is a resolution to appoint Councilmember Rolfing and Councilmember Aguilar to serve to complete the audit committee, and having a majority of that audit committee be comprised of the members of the City Council. Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Very good. City Council?
Move to approve, Brown.
Thank you, Councilor Brown.
Second, Litz.
Been seconded by Councilor Litz on item number 18, a resolution to appoint members to the Audit Committee. All those in favor, just let's have a roll call vote, please. Thank you.
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 7-0. Item 19.
A resolution waiving the city's allocation of recovery zone facility bonds.
Welcome, Erica.
Good evening, Erica Beck with the Community Development Department. As stated, this is a resolution with the intent to waive the city's allocation of recovery zone facility bonds. Just a little bit of background for you. In 2009, the city was allocated just over $19 million in Build America recovery zone facility bonds. The city has not been able to utilize those bonds and does not anticipate utilizing those bonds prior to the expiration of that program, which is December 31st of 2010. Since that time, the city staff has been working with Craig Lloyd and his development team at Lloyd Companies as they anticipate being able to utilize a portion of those bonds through the state of South Dakota. Therefore, we're requesting that our allocation be released to the state of South Dakota so that they can utilize those bonds at the Dolly Farm Village. Both Craig and his attorney on the project, Todd Meyer-Henry, are available in the audience if you have any specific questions. Thanks.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Yes. City Council?
Are we guaranteed that the state will use them in that manner? That Craig will that Lloyd will definitely get the...
I don't believe so, but I would defer to either Todd or Craig on that. I believe that we are basically just releasing our allocation to the state, and then they have to go through the application process to use those.
Mr. Lloyd, welcome.
Craig Lloyd, Lloyd Companies, 3130 West 57th Street, Suite 112. We're not guaranteed that, but the process to even be able to step up to the table and use those bonds, we're the first ones to use it in the state of South Dakota, which was at NAU, and that took us right around 4 months, 6 months, excuse me. We're having a lot of fun out there. And the next one that we're using it for is CNA, and we're hoping to get that done in 4 months. And we're starting 2 Fridays ago, and so we don't have much time because it's all got to be used by December 31st. So it's not an easy process. We feel like we got a great team, and that's the reason we're able to do it.
Councilor Brown.
Craig, I apologize. I was not able to be here at 4 when the council discussed this, so I have just a couple of questions. And I have some familiarity with these, but you're looking to use $12 million for the project? $6 million, okay. I'm confused, and maybe Erica might have to help me. If we have an allocation of $19 million in Sioux Falls, why can't we just allocate that to him directly instead of releasing to the state and then to him?
To be
Go ahead.
candid, the process working through the city, the state has already done it now about 4 times. They have the system. They know how to get it through the process the quickest. And I
This is the
don't
one time
have
where the
time
state's
for
more
education.
efficient than we are? Is that what you're telling me? This is the one time where the state's more efficient than us? Is that what you're telling me, Craig? Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Lloyd. City Council, is there a motion?
Move to approve. Anderson.
There's been a motion by Councilor Anderson Jr. to approve this motion. Is there a second?
Second, Litz.
Seconded by Councilor Litz. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you, City Council. Pass 7-0. Item 20.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement along with the private developer agreement and option agreement between the City of Sioux Falls and Lumber Exchange LLC and a trustee agreeable to the parties.
Thank you, Erica Beck, again representing this item. Just a little bit of background on this related item as well, but you approved 2 resolutions in October of this year, one for the boundary and one for the plan for Tax Increment Finance District Number 10, related to the CNA Surety project. Typically, when the city approves a TIF district, we then enter into a developer's agreement with the representatives of the TIF district, which that agreement obligates the city to take in that positive tax increment and then pay it back out to the developer for reimbursable costs that are outlined in the tax increment plan. Because there are a number of different financing mechanisms being utilized for this specific project, and one in particular, or actually 2 in particular, that are in need of additional assurances from the city, in particular the City Council, we're requesting that City Council pass a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city to enter into these developer agreements so that the lenders on the private developer's side have a little bit more comfort level with moving forward with this. And the timeliness here is associated around the fact that, and Craig can speak to this also, but they have specific lenders that are requiring signatures and authorization by December 1st. So hence our bringing this forward to you tonight, and we do apologize for the very short notice, but we're very excited about this project moving forward, and we want to try to do whatever we can to help the private developer in this instance move forward with the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Yes.
City Council, for your information, this resolution states in particular that it's the developer agreement would be in substantially the same form as you are having before you tonight. Due to the timeliness of the request that we need it by December 1, we've got certainly an agreement in principle. We need your authorization. There might still be a couple of tweaks yet, but they would not change the content in any substantive way with the document, but we wanted to alert you to the fact that there may be a couple very minor tweaks as you have several attorneys, several eyes looking at a document, and we just did not have the time to get you a final document, but I hope it meets your approval as far as substantially the same form.
Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to this item? City Council, any further comments or motion?
Move to approve, Entenmann.
Second, Anderson.
Thank you. Been a motion by Councilor Entenmann, seconded by Councilor Anderson Jr. to approve item number 20. Any further discussion? Councilor Urbanbach.
This is just my interpretation of this. It feels like what we're saying is, no, really, we mean it. We support this. Now let's move forward. I encourage you to vote yes.
Thank you. No further discussion. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmembers Brown?
Yes.
Intiman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes. Thank you, City Council. That's passed 7-0. There are no further items on the agenda tonight. I just wanted to give a comment. I think this is the most productive and positive hour of City Council meeting I've ever been part of. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And we did it all in an hour, or you did it all in an hour. I was just here helping along the way. So great job. Councilor Entenmann.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to put a plug out here. The Capitol Christmas tree will be visiting Sioux Falls Saturday on November 20th, and actually it's going to be stopping up at J&L Harley-Davidson. I just happen to know that place. And it'll be there from 9:30 until 1:30, so the public is welcome to come out, see the national tree. It's on its way to D.C. From Wyoming, and it should be quite an entourage. There's about 3 different semis pulling in, along with a number of other support vehicles, and it's the Capitol Christmas tree will be on display. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to adjourn tonight?
So moved. Litz.
Second, Entenmann.
Thank you. We've got a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmembers Brown?
Yes.
Intiman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 7-0. Good night, Sioux Falls, and good night, City Council. Thanks so much for your passion.